Hey, we got Steve Kardaki. I follow him on the Twitters. And he tweeted this out. A new Quinnipiac poll. Clinton 44, Trump 42, Johnson 10 in Colorado. That's a swingy. Very close within the margin of error. Georgia, Trump 47, Clinton 40. Iowa, Trump 44, Clinton 30. She's losing to an orangutan. A paper bag would beat this guy. Bernie would be in front of this guy by double digits, no question. Nobody questions that, except Bruce Bartlett, who tweeted that out yesterday. He's a maniac. Virginia, Clinton 45, Trump 39, Johnson 8. Jill Stein, don't even put her up there.
Yeah, she's bringing up the rear of the parade.
So Hillary's got to get her numbers up, right? And
how can she do that, Jimmy?
Well, she tries to come out and talk to the people. And the problem with Hillary Clinton is that the less she talks, the more her numbers go up. The more she talks, the more her numbers go down. And you know why? She's not an appealing person. She's not only a flawed candidate, she's a horrible politician. Meaning the more she talks, the more people hate her. Because she's full of shit. And they won't stop lying. They won't stop lying, and she won't try to come get lefties' votes. And the left keeps lying for her. They keep going, oh, it's okay, everything she did. If you would tell people, hold your nose and vote for Hillary, I bet a lot of people would. When you try to go, oh, your criticism of her is sexist, that makes people not want to vote for her. When you go, oh, no, she's not corrupt. What is it? Quid work? Do you have any evidence? That doesn't help her at all. This doesn't make people want to frickin' vote for her when you do that.
Yeah, but hold your nose and vote for Hillary isn't much of a bumper sticker, Jimmy.
But at least because people can sense a little honesty. And we're so sick of this. We got a shit sandwich served to us on a platter. The people who know everything gave us Hillary Clinton. Who can't even beat that guy? The people who know everything. But I'm uninformed. So here she is just yesterday trying to get the votes of union workers. I got this piece of tape that's going around the intranets, and here you go. Here we go. Listen to her try to get votes.
And bargain collectively. And I will fight back against so-called right to work. Right to work is wrong for workers and wrong for America.
No, I agree with her on that, except the vice president she chose is Tim Kaine, and he has the opposite opinion of her. Yeah, she chose someone to the right of her on unions to be the vice president. You know, in case she dies, then we'll have an anti-union right-to-work guy as our president. I wonder why she's not winning. Here we go. Here's the good part. You ready for this? I mean, you know about that, right, Tim Kaine? You know, he's to the right. He's to the right of her. He's pro Wall Street, pro TPP. Yeah. He's pro fracking. He's basically a Republican. And he's against abortion. So he's because he's a Catholic.
Right.
But this is our Democratic Party.
He doesn't believe in public policy against abortion.
Right, that's what he says. They ask him if he's pro-choice, and he says, well, I'm against abortion because I'm Catholic, but I'm not going to let my religious views enter into government, which is the definition of pro-choice. Just say you're pro-choice. Just say it. Yeah, I'm pro-choice. Just say it, but he won't. Okay. I'm sure there's a tape of him somewhere saying he's pro-choice, right? He had to have said it sometime. Anyway, here's Hillary Clinton. She got more to say.
Now, having said all this, why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask? Well, the choice for working families has never been clearer. I need your help to get Donald Trump's record out to everybody. Nobody should be fooled. He proudly declared himself 100% right to work. He even hired a union-busting firm to break up an organizing campaign at his hotel in Las Vegas, where you are right now. And he built up his wealth by stiffing small businesses and contractors. That goes against everything we stand for as a country. My dad was a small...
Why aren't I 50 points ahead? Why aren't I 50 points ahead?
This what's crazy about this is that this was filmed from her bathroom mirror. She's just talking to herself.
Is she trying to lose? How is that helping? I'll tell you why.
Yeah, I was just about to say she should be told, and I think she was told, and then she's obviously getting sort of conflicting senses of things, not to shout. She shouldn't shout. The shouting doesn't work for her. The shouting works for guys, but
it might work for
no,
guys.
I mean, seriously, I think unfortunately men get away with it more than women do. I think it's a cultural bias. I don't think it's fair. I'm just thinking it's a fact. And for her also, she can get a little more shrill sounding when she shouts. I'm just evaluating the cosmetics, but
horrible.
But she was criticized for, well, she seems like she's sick, she doesn't have any energy, so you can see this is a tug of war in her mind over how to even get the words out. And when you're thinking about every shift of the gears, it must be really hard to drive the political car.
I want to hear her yell at people again, because that's basically I don't understand.
Bargain collectively, and I will fight back against so-called right to work. Right to work is wrong for workers and wrong for America. Now, having said all this, why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask?
I might ask. Is it because your vice president is for right to work states? Is it because you're for the TPP? Is it because you're pro fracking? Is it because you're in bed with Wall Street, whose interests are diametrically opposed to the people who you're trying to get to vote for you right now? Union workers? Could it be that? Could it be that, I don't know, you brag about being duped by George Bush and giving full-throated support to an illegal war in Iraq, which destabilized the Middle East, and then you learned nothing from it, and you went into Libya and did the same goddamn thing, and then you wanted a more muscular response to Syria, and now you want to start having no-fly zones so you could... Could it be any of that stuff?
She is certainly hawkish with a capital H, and both these people are hawkish, although you don't really know what the hell Donald Trump would do. But I just think he is in the pocket of big business. That's in the sense that, a different way than Hillary, in the sense that only the people he knows, his buddies, the people he takes the private jets with, the people who he golfs with, they're all captains of industry. They're real estate moguls, or they're working with countries that he's got real estate deals in. And by the way, he's got huge international tentacles to the Trump corporation in the countries that he'll be dealing with as president. I mean, it's no wonder he doesn't release his taxes. My God, I wouldn't either. I would bury those taxes in a pipe somewhere and put that safety deposit box underground. Anyway, what was the point I was making, Jimmy?
I don't know, but he's probably got almost as many business dealings in countries that donated to the Clinton Foundation.
Oh
almost.
No, and thank you. And that was the point I was making. Both of these guys are. I mean, I think they're warmongers because that's where the money is. And they're more than warmongers. They're hawkish and likely to get us into conflict because that's where the money is.
And you know what? I saw a thing where RFK's speechwriter said he said I was RFK's speechwriter. And I'm voting for Donald Trump. And I was like, what? Huh? And he makes the case that, John F. Kennedy and Robert F. Kennedy were anti-war. That was the whole point of their presidencies. And he quotes John F. Kennedy. And like I was reading some of the quotes, I got choked up. And he said, Robert Kennedy decided he had to try to end the war, the Vietnam War, which is why he ran for president, knowing full well that he could be killed just like his brother. But he knew he had to try to end the war. So he did, and he got killed just like his brother, and that war went on until 1975.
Yeah, and somebody else who tried to end
So that's why he's voting for Trump, because right now, Trump is trying to cozy up to Putin. He's trying to say, hey, let's get together. I'm going to be friends with Putin, and we'll go fight terrorism together, whereas Hillary Clinton is like trying to start another Cold War.
I don't know even that the Middle East is going to be the limitations of military conflict. You look what's happening in North Korea, and there is more going on there. And I don't really understand the North Korean and sensitivities, but I feel as though and I know Donald Trump hasn't even made an effort to understand them. Right. I just don't know where the next theater of conflict may pop up. I think Hillary is she's trigger happy. And I feel as though he's knee-jerk trigger happy. I mean, maybe it's sort of like the last person he spoke to in the hallway is going to be the way it goes with him. I don't know. But the RFK thing is astounding. You know,
I'll do a longer segment on it, prepare it and give you the quotes and the RFK quotes. He talked all about how they were dedicated to peace and they understood nuclear war and the dangers, and they were always talking about brotherhood and we're all this interconnected, we're all linked, we're all one. That Bobby and John F. Kennedy had the same vision. And that now the Democratic Party has become the party of war. It's ensconced inside the party. They're not getting rid of it. Hillary Clinton has no plans to de-escalate. She has only plans to escalate war.
I would make even a broader point about the country right now, and that is that anti-war stances don't really get you much with this electorate for some reason. One reason...
Because there's no draft.
Thank you. I was just about to say, one reason is that we don't fight the wars anymore. Those people who we pay to fight the wars do. And I'm talking about
pay them,
people
literally.
who enlist. I mean, there used to be a draft, and there ought to be a draft, because if there was a draft, you'd think twice about the war that you support. Now, this issue should be a bigger deal, but it's not. We are sort of inoculated from the effects of war, even though a whole generation are coming back from the Middle East messed up with PTSD and suicide rates that are off the scale. And you hear, oh, support our vets. But hey, you want to support the vets? Stop sending them to these places to fight these ridiculous wars that aren't even really wars.
You know what? I'll maybe start believing that we can fix Syria, Iraq, Libya, Afghanistan, Yemen as soon as we figure out how to get clean water to Flint, Michigan. We can't even frickin' do that in our own goddamn country. And here we are. Hey, we're going to go fix the Middle East. It's such arrogance. And how are we going to fix it, Mark? With bombs. Hey, why don't we bomb Flint? Maybe that'll fix it. Because that's the equivalent of what we're doing. These people in Syria, it started from a frickin' drought caused by climate change.
Yep.
That's what started this whole thing in Syria. A drought started because of climate change. And what do we? And he even went to the UN and said, "Hey, I'm having some climate change. We got no crops. My farmers are coming into the cities. Can you help me?" And the UN said no. But they said, but if there is a uprising, we will help bomb you. And that's exactly what's happened. That is exactly what's happened.
And we could take a lot of the money that's being funneled in these various military efforts, which you have, I think, pointed out on more than one occasion. There's never a question about when we want to go to war.
They never go, how are you going to pay for that?
Yeah.
They never go. Hey, we're going to go back, going to have a no-fly zone. How are you going to pay for that?
Yeah. If I want to give elementary school kids iPads, we have a big discussion about where's the money going to come from.
Right.
But if I want to send bombers over to Syria,
no, without
no
question.
problem. Already in the sky, sir. Already in the sky.
If I want to get clean water to Flint, how are you going to pay for that?
You have to funnel some of that American military machine money into domestic programs like Clean Water for Flint, like infrastructure. I mean, they talk it, but they don't actually do it.
Ever.
Well, there are still pristine deserts that don't have brand new airplanes covering them. So we still got a lot of work left to do.
We got a lot of work.